Leon Panetta, was in a closed-door briefing with lawmakers last night. He goes back in about 45 minutes to conduct another secret briefing. He says the U.S. intentionally left Pakistan out of the loop, saying, quote, "It was decided that any effort to work with the Pakistanis could jeopardize the mission. They might alert the targets. We know based on history, the alert's gone out in the past. This time, that was not possible." Republican Senator Bob Corker is on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Senator, how are you? Good morning to you.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
And you as well, thank you. You were with Leon Panetta last night. This is secret stuff. I understand that. I understand the sensitivity involved in this. But what did you take away from the briefing you had with him, the CIA director?
Well, first of all, there were 74 senators there, Bill, which is rare for one of these briefings. And I can tell you there was a loud applause and just tremendous pride in what our CIA and military both had done. General Cartwright was also there, and obviously everybody overwhelmed with a lot of pride for our military, the Navy SEALs that went in. Other than that, I don't think it's good to get in a lot of details. I know Mr. Panetta said numbers of things, but look, I think it's pretty clear that either the Pakistani military and intelligence was either in cahoots or incompetent, and I think that's clear. And our relationship with Pakistan has been very transactional. Let's face it, a lot of these countries around the world are able to be somewhat bad actors, and somehow that generates aid from us. As I traveled through Afghanistan on my last trip in Kandahar, Helmand Province, Kabul, every single military leader that I was with talked about the fact that we're fighting in Afghanistan against folks who are being controlled out of Pakistan. There are a couple of fertilizer operations in Pakistan that no one believes more than 5% is being used for legitimate purposes. Most of it is probably being used to aid our enemy there in making explosives with ammonium nitrate. Possibly some of our monies are being diverted to help them increase their missile launch activities for their nuclear weaponry. So, I think this is a major reset button for us, a time for us to really look at this relationship in a serious way. Look, the military is the government in Pakistan. The leaders there are mostly not as effective as they should be, and the military is the adult supervisor. So I think there's a lot of serious questions.
Were you able to ask questions?
It ran late, and candidly, there were a few questions, but it ran very, very late, and most of my questions were answered candidly. It was a very thorough briefing.
How about this thought here? And when you consider Pakistan and all the problems that country has, and you know how difficult the balance is for those leaders, be it on the military side or the government side, it's almost like you can't win this war with them, and you cannot win this war without them. I mean, that's a heck of a sticky spot, don't you think?
It is, and that's why, of course, they have leverage over us. We have to traverse across their country to even be involved in Afghanistan the way that we are. We depend upon them in a limited way for intelligence and other types of activities. At the same time, they're not doing everything they could do to be our partner, and it's that tension I think all of us are going to be looking at right now. I think these occurrences over the last few days are going to cause everyone to look at this relationship in a very different manner.
One more point on that, and that's the amount of aid that goes to Pakistan. These are taxpayer dollars. This has been the topic in this country for 2 years, spending and our deficit. Between 2002 and 2010, $18.6 billion. And you tick off the last 3 years, 09, 10, and 11, at least $3 billion per year. What's your view on that?
Well, it's been about $22 billion. You're right. This year the president's requested $3 billion, and that was the purpose of my letter to Secretary Clinton, and that is, hey, let's sit down. I want to know more about Pakistan's involvement in numbers of areas. Again, our relationship is very unlike, Bill, the relationship we have with Great Britain or some other place. It's very transactional, and there are a lot of bad actors in Pakistan. There are some folks that help us. I think all of that is going to be examined in a very different way, especially in light of the last 72 hours.
There's another private briefing in 45 minutes. Will you be in there for that one?
No, I think this one probably is for the House side. Last night was for the Senate side.
Understood. Senator, thank you very much. Bob Corker, Republican out of Tennessee.